Good morning, everyone. My name is Ankit Kothari. I'm a committee member of ICAI Abu Dhabi Chapter. I have with me CA Amit Sachdev, CEO, Direct Tax MBG Corporate Services. He has 23 plus years of experience in direct tax and finance accounting. In this chapter, today's session, he is going to cover topics related to basics of corporate tax, the framework behind getting corporate tax into UAE. Very good morning, Mr. Amit
A
Sachdev.
very
How are
good
you doing,
morning.
sir?
I'm very well. Good morning. Nice to have me here. And thank you very much to the entire ICI team, the committee members for organizing this symposium, as well as to the president, to the chairman, to the vice chairman, and everyone here. It's a very nice initiative on your part to making the entire CA fraternity industrial houses getting assembled here and discuss this very important aspects and very important topics governing the corporate tax regime in UAE, which is going to be here in 23.
Thank you, sir, for the brief introduction. Sir,
Yeah.
if you could please touch a base on the corporate tax rules, regulations, the rates which have been introduced, the framework behind getting corporate tax into the UAE regime, sir, if you could just touch base on it, please.
Yes, you see, on 28th April 22, we had a public consultation document which was released by Ministry of Finance UAE, which talks about the very basic blueprint or a regulatory framework as to how this corporate tax regime would get unfolded. The document mentions that we'll have a progressive taxation in UAE, which means an annual income up till 375,000 would be tax free, and anything in excess of that amount will be taxed at 9%. And this 9% tax rate would apply on the profits, accounting profits, subject to certain adjustments. So the law, as I see, is pretty much simple vis-a-vis the mature tax jurisdictions which I have been working and practicing in my career. And coming back to your query on the reason or the rationale as to why UAE is coming up with this CT regime, I guess as is announced, it goes back to the OECD framework pillar 2, whereby OECD announced that most of the countries, majority of them, should try having a minimum tax rate of 15%. So with that intent, UAE being one of the member of OECD, integrated member of OECD framework, has come up with this vision of having corporate tax regime. And I guess though they are starting with 9%, but gradually over a period of time, maybe they'll align it with the framework of 15%.
Thank you so much, sir, for this insightful
Yeah,
introduction of corporate tax. So, just one more question in
yeah,
regards to corporate tax. What should the corporates start doing
yeah,
in terms of implementation of this corporate taxes
yeah.
into their system
It's a
to have a
very,
trans?
yeah. That's a very, very interesting and important question. And personally, I feel a very commendable step on the part of UAE government. They are allowing all businesses here to have a 1 year transition phase, which I personally feel is a readiness journey for them. And important aspects for businesses here would be to use this 1 year to structure their operations, to look at their accounting books, and to see that a clear distinction is made between personal, business, non-business expenditures, to see how the corporate tax framework would impact them and how they have to align themselves and how they have to manage their businesses to enjoy all possible concessions, exemptions which are being promised by the framework. And timeliness and being compliant and managing the compliances would be a very important aspect so that they remain aligned. And ultimately, over a period of time, I personally again feel that this step is in alignment and integration with various steps taken by government in past in terms of building a very robust regulatory framework and network in terms of laws here. For example, I go back to the introduction of VAT way back in 2017 when this framework was announced. In 2018, this law came in force. Then thereafter, there have been many changes in terms of various new legislations, amendments in various existing legislations, a new visa norm process. So much is happening in terms of lot of regulatory environment which is conducive to the business, and I am sure this would continue to contribute to a large amount of investment in this region.
Thank you so much, CA Amit Sachdev, for this
My
insightful.
pleasure.
We look forward for your session in the seminar, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thank you.
coming here on a Sunday morning.
Thank you so much.